over to you. Now have a go at being Katrina in the conversation and give the Gaelic after the English prompts. Let's start.
Hello, it's Misha Seamus.
Good morning, James. I'm Katrina.
Mating va a Hamish. Is Misha Katriana.
Cymra hashiv a Katriana.
Fine, thank you.
Ha guma tach believe.
How are you yourself?
Kimmer a ha shiv hain.
Gleva tap leave. Hai snock and ju nachil.
Yes, indeed, it's beautiful.
Ha kujarav. Ha ibria.
Well done. Now try James's part. Say the Gaelic part of the conversation out loud after the English prompts. Hello, I'm James.
Hello, it's Misha Seamus.
Mating va a Hamish. Is Misha Katriana.
How are you, Katrina?
Cymra hashiv a Katriana.
Ha guma tach believe. Kimmer a ha shiv hain.
Very well, thanks.
Gleva tap leave.
It's nice today, isn't it?
Hai snock and ju nachil.
Ha kujarav. Ha ibria.
Well done. You've got off to a flying start. Why don't you replay Conversation 1, Part 1 again, just for good measure? Conversation 1, Part 2, Introducing People. In this conversation, you'll learn how to introduce people and some further answers to questions asking how you are. Key words and phrases. Here are the new words and phrases you'll need for this part. Repeat them out loud. You, informal and familiar form.
U.
Tonight.
Anoch.
Not bad.
Chanir donna.
Thank you, informal and familiar form.
Tach belert.
Just as usual.
Díadach san avest.
This is.
Shell.
Good afternoon or good evening.
Fisker ma.
My friend.
Mochadich.
My female friend.
Movanachadich.
Now listen to Conversation 1, Part 2, Introducing People. Just listen first to practice your listening skills and to reinforce your knowledge of the words and expressions you've just learned. After arriving in Uist, Katrina and James introduce their friends.
Hallo, a vichal. Kimmer a ha u a noch.
Chanil donna tablet. Cymra a ha hen.
Díadach san avest tach belet. Seo Seamus.
Fisker ma a Hamish.
Seo mochadich. Michal.
Fisker ma a vichal. Shomo van acharich Anna.
Making sense of it all. Do you remember O James and O Katrina from Part 1? It's used again in Part 2. Listen to how the name Michael changes when you use the form of address equivalent to O Michael.
Michal. A vichal.
The familiar or informal form of the question, how are you, is, as we know from Part 1,
Kimmer a ha u.
to return the question, you simply add the word
Hen. Cymra a ha u hen.
This is like asking, how are you yourself? When answering a question with the familiar form for you, you use
Tach belert.
for thank you. Again, this is literally, thanks be with you. To introduce someone, you say,
Sure.
This is followed by their name.
Sure. Seamus.
This is James. If you're introducing a male friend, you say,
Seo mochadich.
This is then followed by their name. For example,
Seach mo chadaid Michael.
this is my friend Michael. If you're introducing a female friend, you say,
Seo mo bhana charid.
again, this followed by their name. So, this is my female friend Anne would be,
Seo mo bhana charid Anna.
why don't you replay the whole of the second part again before we move on? Over to you. Have a go at being Michael by making up his responses in Gaelic after each English prompt.
Hallo, a bhícheal. Cimar a haú a noch.
Not bad, thank you.
Chanil donna tablet.
How are you yourself?
Cimar ha u hen.
Díreach sa nábhaist. Tapalet. Seo Seamus.
Good afternoon, James.
Fisker ma Hamish.
Seo mo charid Michael.
Fisker ma a bhícheal. Seo mo bhana charid Anna.
Well done. Now make up Katrina's part in the conversation and give the Gaelic after the English prompts. Hello, Michael. How are you tonight?
Hallo, a bhícheal. Cimar a haú a noch.
Chanil donna tablet. Cimar ha u hen.
Just as usual, thank you.
Díreach sa nábhaist. Tapalet.
This is James.
Seo Seamus.
Fisker ma Hamish.
This is my friend Michael.
Seo mo charid Michael.
Fisker ma a bhícheal. Seo mo bhana charid Anna.
Well done. Replay Conversation 1 Part 2 again just to see how well you're getting on. Conversation 2. Getting to know people. Part 1. Finding out where people are from. In the second conversation, you'll learn how to say where you're from and ask where someone else is from. Key words and phrases. Here are the words and phrases you'll need for Part 1 with the English first. Repeat the Gaelic out loud. My brother.
Mo bhráthir.
Where are you from?
Có as a háisibh.
I'm from Edinburgh.
Ha mise a Donéidean.
And
Agus.
from Cape Breton.
A Cape Breton.
We're from Inverness.
A sinne a Innernish.
Near
Fashgéir.
Loch Ness.
Loch Nish.
We were there.
Bha Sinjaun.
But
Ach.
we didn't see
Chanach Gashin.
the monster.
An Uleveist.
Now listen to Conversation 2, Part 1, Finding Out Where People Are From. James and Anne go to a music festival in Uist, where they meet lots of people. In this conversation, you'll hear them getting to know more about two of these, Margaret and Callum.
Is me sé mairat. Seo mo bhráthir. Callum.
Is mise Seamus. Seo mo bhana charid Anna.
Cóas a háisibh.
Ha mise a Donéidean.
Agus ha mise Canada a Cape Breton. Có as a háisibh héin.
Ha sinne a Innernish.
Innernish. Fashgéir Loch Nish. Bha Sinjaun a Chanach Gashin an Uleveist.
Now listen to the whole of Conversation 2, Part 1 again, repeating after the speakers in turn. Making sense of it all. Now let's find out a bit more about some of the words and phrases you've just met. To ask someone where they're from, you say,
Coas hashiv.
or if you know the person reasonably well,
Coas ahau.
in reply to both forms of the question, you say, I'm from.
Hamisha a.
This is followed by the name of the place. If you're from Edinburgh, you say,
Hamisha a Dunedin.
if you're from Canada, you say.
Hamisha a Canada.
To return the question, you add the following word to the end of the original question.
Hain. Coas aha shiv hain.
This means, where are you from yourself? Or, if the person is familiar to you, you would say.
Coas aha u hain.
You respond to either form of the question in the same way as before. For example, if you want to say, we're from Inverness, you reply.
Hashinje a inarnish.
If you want to say that something is near somewhere, you say it's.
Fashk ir.
This is followed by the name of the place. Near Inverness, for example, is.
Fashk ir inarnish.
Near Edinburgh would be.
Fashk ir Dunedin.
To say that you've been somewhere, you say.
Va shin aun.
This means we were there. And to say that you haven't seen something, you say.
Chanach geshin.
This means we didn't see. And it's followed by the item you didn't see. The grammar you'll need. In Conversation 1, you were introduced to two ways of saying my friend.
Mocharij.
This is used for a male friend.
Movanacharij.
This is the form used for a female friend.
Mo.
In both examples, this word meaning my causes a change in the pronunciation of the beginning of the following word. Remember, this is known as lenition. The basic forms of the words for friend are
Carij. Banacharij.
In this conversation, the same change takes place with the word for brother.
Brahed.
My brother is.
Movrahed.
A similar change takes place after the word for your, another word which denotes possession.
Do.
You've come across the pronoun meaning you several times now.
Sheev.
It can refer to one or more than one person.
Sheevshe.
Is another form of the pronoun which is used when you want to give emphasis.
Me.
This pronoun, meaning I or me, also has a different form to show emphasis.
Misha.
Likewise, the pronoun for you, referring to just one person, changes to.
Usa.
For example, Seamus emphasizes that he's from Canada by saying, I'm from Canada.
Hamisha a Canada.
Over to you. Now have a go at being James in the conversation and give the Gaelic after the English prompts. Let's start.
Ismisha mairat. Sho movrahat Callum.
I'm James. This is my friend Anne.
Ismisha Seamus. Sho Movanacharij Anna.
Coas aha shiv.
Hamisha a Dunedin.
And I'm from Canada, from Cape Breton.
Agus Hamisha a Canada a Cape Breton.
Where are you from?
Coas aha shivhain.
Hashinje a Inarnish.
Ah, Inverness, near Loch Ness.
Ah, in your nish. Fashk ir Loch Nish.
We were there, but we didn't see the monster.
Fash in jaun. Ach chanach geshin an ullevist.
Well done. Now try taking the parts of Margaret and Callum. Say the Gaelic part of the conversation out loud after the English prompts. I'm Margaret This is my brother Callum.
Is mise mairat. Seo mo bhreathir Callum.
Is mise Seamus. Seo mo bhanna charit Anna.
Where are you from?
Coas a hasíomh.
Ha mise adulnéadjan.
Agus ha mise a Canada a Ciprétain. Coas a haisibh héin.
We're from Inverness.
Ha sinne a Innernish.
In your nish. Fashk loch nish. Vash in jaun a chanach geshin an ulevisht.
Well done. You've made a good start. Conversation 2, Part 2. Finding out about people's jobs and where they live. In this conversation, you'll learn how to say where you live, ask if someone lives in a particular place, ask about someone's occupation, and talk about your own. Key words and phrases. Here are the new words and phrases you'll need for this part. Repeat them out loud. Are you or do you?
A bhfuil
Stay, live.
a fudach,
In Inverness.
an Innernish,
In Glasgow.
an Glasgow,
Work or occupation.
Obed,
What's your occupation?
J an Obed a hagad,
A nurse.
nurse,
I'm a nurse.
sé nurse a hanam,
A student.
Olanach,
A teacher.
teacher,
In the Isle of Skye.
Sanjiran skianach,
Just now.
Andrasta,
Learning Gaelic.
a gionsachug Gaelic.